Hello, peoples. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is Tracey here. So, this is my third episode, and tonight I'm talking about our divine nature and how that affects our self love, or how we can use it to help and assist in our self love. So, I'm going to start off by sharing a bit of my own beliefs, and then I can incorporate this into a larger picture for you, regardless of what your beliefs are. So, it doesn't matter what school of thought you're in, even atheism. I truly believe this can be applied for helping you on your self love journey. So, myself, I believe I'm a child of the divine universe, and for me, that it's like the child of God. I believe that I've got, divine beings out there, and that I am part of that I have an eternal soul, and I'm part of the eternal universe out there. And so, as a child of God, or a child of the divine, I deserve to be treated well. Like if I, met God, I would treat God well because God's the divine. Well, if I met the child of God, I would treat the child of God well as well. Just like if you met the king, you'd probably treat the king well. If you met the king's son, the prince, you'd probably treat the king's son well as well. I hear lots of people say that, oh, I'm a child of God, and they'll repeat this, but they don't treat themselves like a child of God. They don't treat themselves the same way that they would meet Jesus if they met Jesus, or if they met God, or if they met Buddha, or Krishna, or whatever. I could go on. So at some point in our self-love journey, we have to sit down and ask ourselves, what does that really mean? Like, if that's something we believe, I'm a child of God, or I'm a child of the divine, what does that really mean? I want to take you for a moment in a little, we'll call it a little meditation. I do this with some of my clients sometimes when I can tell that they haven't fully grasped exactly who they are, but I know they believe in something larger than themselves. We'll call it their higher power right now. So when I do this little meditation with you, when I use the word God, you can replace that with higher power, with the universe, whatever, but I'm just going to use the word God because it's simple, okay? My idea of that, it may be very different than some people's. My idea of it certainly doesn't fit into any particular book. It might fit into all books, actually, not one particular. So anyways, what I want you to do right now is I want you to close your eyes for a second while you're listening to this, or while you're watching it. Try to imagine what I'm saying here, okay? So I'd like you to imagine that you're at home tonight and you hear a knock on your door. When you go and answer the door, you find standing on your doorstep the one they call God. And you're amazed, absolutely amazed. It's God. And God is looking for a meal, and you welcome God in. And of course you'll get God a meal. What would God like to eat? You go and try to find it in your kitchen. And if you have it, you'll make it. If you can't find it, you'll go out and buy it, or you'll go to a restaurant and have it prepared. But whatever God wants to eat, you will get that because it's God. Only the best for God. And after dinner, you retire to the family room for the evening. You offer to God your best chair, whichever one would be most comfortable. The sofa, the chairs, anything. Do you need an ottoman? Do you need a blanket for your comfort? Can I get you a glass of water, a snack, whatever? Because you're God, only the best for God. And then when it's time to retire for the night, you take God and you show him all your bedrooms, and whichever one is the most comfortable, whichever bed God would like, absolutely, there you go. And you'll go to the linen closet and get your best linen, the finest, whatever you have, the best, because only the best for God. Now I want you to imagine that you're at home tonight and you hear a knock on your door, and standing on your doorstep, you find the child of God. What less would you give to her? That's how we need to understand ourselves. If we believe in something bigger than ourselves, and that we're a child of that we're created out of that vastness of the universe, that we have an eternal soul, that's who we are. And so often we're not treating ourselves like that child of God, the same way that a Christian would treat Jesus, who is the child of God. That's your brother, if that happens to be your religion. That's the person who is on par and equal to you, because they're the child of God and you're the child of God. God wouldn't be happy to see you not treating yourself well. It makes me want to weep when I see how some divine children are treating themselves or allowing themselves to be treated. This is something to ponder on, something to journal about. So regardless of what religion you follow, though, that idea that we're a divine being, that we have an eternal nature. So if you believe in the soul, on some level you believe you have a divine nature because it goes beyond this body. It's not just evolution. It's not just this physical form. It's a soul housed within and walking around within this physical form. And when we lose this physical form, we'll be going somewhere else. And people have all sorts of different ideas, whether it's reincarnation or going to heaven or seeing their ancestors or whatever, going somewhere else in the universe, or being evolved into another being in certain religions. You know, all of those are different, but ultimately that still means an eternal being, the soul. Now, how do we apply this to, let's say, if someone's an atheist? Atheists still, almost every atheist I've ever met personally, believes in humanitarianism, meaning treating humans the way that they should be treated, like being humane with people, being humane with, their fellow brethren here on earth. Well, if I'm treating everyone else humanely, I also ought to be treating myself humanely, And so that still is within our belief structure. So if you believe in humanitarianism for everyone else, why not humanitarianism for this person? And just like, do unto others as you would have done unto yourself. Well, if you're treating everyone else wonderfully and good and trying to be your best to people, why wouldn't you be your best to this person? For those who are spiritual on some level, what you're saying, if you're treating yourself badly but others well, is you're saying, well, that child of God matters, and that child of God matters, and that child of God matters. But this one right here doesn't matter. I'm sorry. Sorry, God. Yeah, no. This is the one human being, this person right here, yourself, you're the one human being that you're actually responsible for. From birth to death, you're responsible for your happiness, for your welfare, for your growth, for your well-being. You're the one person you're actually responsible for. And if you're out there being great to that person and that person and that person, but not this person, you're missing the one job that was actually assigned to you. On my own spiritual journey, I've had to stop and reflect on this. How am I treating myself compared to how I treat others? It's interesting that is a truth throughout almost all different civilizations and religions, is this idea of do unto others as you would have done unto yourself. It's interesting that more often people are kinder to others than they are to themselves. So when you hear that and you think, well, that means I need to be nice to other people. Well, that also means you're supposed to be nice to yourself, because you're supposed to have been nice to you in the first place to make a statement like that. Do unto others as you would have done unto yourself. Be nice to you. So it's interesting how so often we can put everyone else first. And sometimes this will even come out of spiritual beliefs. Like somewhere along the line, we've got things mixed up that I have to give and give and give and never give here. But I think that's an incorrect message as well. We don't want to be selfish and never be helping other people and not be a contributing member of society and not being helping to make the world a better place. But at the end of the day, this is the one person. You've got one person who you're actually responsible for as an adult. You have kids. When kids are up to age 18, you're responsible to get them to 18. After that, you're not responsible for all their choices and the things that they do in their adult life. They're responsible for themselves. You're responsible for you. And we're taking all that energy and we're putting it into everyone else and forgetting about this one person we're responsible for. Now, I'm not going to call that a sin because I don't like the word sin, but I believe it's a grave mistake. I believe it's a grave error to do that because what we're saying is that, well, this divine being, this eternal soul doesn't matter. No, when I get that I matter, and that I deserve to be treated well, you know what happens is I reciprocally realize that everyone else deserves that same thing too. It's not that I'm a divine being and you're not. It's not that I'm somehow better than everyone else out there. It means that I'm equal with everyone else, and everyone else deserves to be treated well, so do I. So do you. But we miss that one piece. We're so busy making everyone else happy, and we're not making sure that the one person we're responsible for is happy. I was hoping that this was a message that I could convey to you today. It's really not going to be a long episode. This is one for you to ponder on. I'd love for you to get your journal out, and I'd love for you just to ponder on, who am I? What does it mean to be a child of God? Or what does it mean to be an eternal soul? What do I believe as far as where I come from? What do I believe is my job here on earth? One of my huge beliefs about why we're here on earth is about learning and growing. I really do believe that we come here to learn, to grow, to ascend, to become better than when we arrived. And by better than, I just mean learning and knowing more. Maybe we become more compassionate. Maybe we become kinder. But I'm not truly a compassionate and kind person if I treat myself like crap. If I treat myself like crap, there is a piece of my compassion that's missing. Because this person right here deserves to be treated compassionately as well. So if you want to be the complete compassionate picture, the complete unconditional love picture in this world, that includes being nice to you. You don't quite have it if you're nice to everyone else and not nice to yourself. So that's something for you to ponder on. I wanted to leave you with this thought today. It's not a long podcast, not a long video today, but I want you to stop and think about who you are, why you're here, what your purpose is. And are you treating yourself well enough considering who you are? I want you to remember who you are. Remember where you came from. If you try really hard, maybe you can feel wings. Wings that were once growing on your back. All right. That's what I'm going to leave you with tonight. Everyone, I want you to put your arms around yourself. I want you to give yourself a big hug. I want you to feel the hug from me. Feel the love. Thank yourself for working on you. Thank yourself for never giving up. And you have yourself an awesome day. Thanks a lot for listening.